Should I stream you as well?
You can check if it's working.
So exciting.
All right, so I hope this is working. Good. Awesome. So this is our first live stream ever, so I'm a little bit nervous. But it should be fun. I'm gonna try. Hey, hi from Wales. Hi from Vienna. Good evening. Oh, nice to see you coming slowly. Can you hear me?
Let's go.
Joe is here as well, by the way. It's hiding on the side.
I can see myself.
It needs some time.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna wait a tiny bit for people to come in. Okay, perfect. So if you have any questions, by the way, just put them in the chat. We're gonna try our best to answer them. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk a little louder. Okay. Good evening to you too, Richie.
Nice.
I hope you all had wonderful holidays and great time with your family and a great start to a new year. This year I'm planning, and actually Jof is also planning to help me some more with the channel. We're planning to do possibly 2 new videos per week and more live streams as well. So we want to dedicate more time to the channel, to this beautiful community that I feel like I really neglected last year. So sorry about that. Hopefully we'll do it better this year. So did you all manage not to overeat during the holidays and not binge to an excessive amount? Okay.
Can insist.
How much calories per day? Well, it all depends. I can't tell you exactly how many calories you should eat per day. Under 20 carbs, net carbs per day is a great way to start already. I would start, if you're starting out, I would eat at least maintenance calories, so the same that you were eating before, and then slowly lower how much you're eating and see how you're doing as well. Because the great thing on keto is that fasting and having longer periods of time where you're not eating becomes much easier when you're eating less carbs and you get used to using your body fat for energy. Wheatgrass powder, good to take. Yeah, I think it has a lot of health benefits. I don't know exactly now, depending on the quantity, I don't know how many carbs it has, but I think it might be good for detox or something. We don't take wheatgrass powder or much of any powders. Okay, George. Okay, so George is asking, yeah, been doing keto, but I had kind of stopped losing weight and I was just trying to figure out what I was doing wrong, and right now it's still a work in progress, I'm guessing. Okay. So there's always gonna be plateaus during your weight loss journey, also on keto. So being natural, it doesn't just go straight down. You're gonna lose a little bit of weight, and then for a certain while, maybe a couple of weeks, you're not gonna lose any weight, and then it continues. But you have to be willing to experiment and experiment with maybe shortening your eating window or doing intermittent fasting. So doing intermittent fasting, but also maybe doing intermittent fasting in reverse, which other people like to do as well. So for example, instead of skipping breakfast, you could have an earlier dinner. So you could have your last meal at 4 p.m. and then start the morning with a breakfast, for example. And that way you have a 16-hour eating window from 4 p.m. until the morning when you eat breakfast. That might work better for some people. You have to experiment and be willing to find what's best for you. And everybody's different. And we're talking about real food here, so there's, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Spive is right. Plateaus are completely natural. We also hit plateaus. And Sophie also have her plateaus.
Sadly.
Moringa powder. To be honest, I really don't know too much about that. I'm gonna have to research that. Yeah, Richie, the same for you. So when you hit a plateau during weight loss, just continue. Plateaus are completely normal. They're always gonna be plateaus, and sometimes
Fasting
maybe
helps.
Yeah, fasting can help for sure. Maybe also try seeing really count how many carbs you're eating per day, and see calories do also matter. So try to track a little bit of what you're eating and see maybe you're eating some berries here, you're eating some nuts there, and then already, even though those quantities might not be much every single time, when you add them up over a day, you might be over 20 grams of net carbs. You might actually be hitting 30 or more. And so maybe that's also stopping your weight loss. Yeah, exactly. Okay. How much avocados per day? I think one should be enough.
Yeah, we usually have half.
We sometimes make a chocolate pudding actually with avocados, which is really good. We have to post the recipe. It's super easy. We just take one
Coconut
avocado.
milk.
We use one avocado, then like 50 milliliters of coconut milk, a little bit of stevia erythritol, and 1 tablespoon of cacao butter, and it's so good. That's a great way to get some avocado as well. A great dessert. Yeah. But also, if you're eating avocados all day long, those might also add up. But yeah, if you like avocados a lot, I'm sure you could probably fit in 2 avocados as well into your diet. So, yeah. Okay. So this is really new for the two of us. Hope we're not doing too badly and you can hear as well. Monk fruit sweetener. I think monk fruit sweetener is also very low. So as far as I can remember, the monk fruit sweetener is also fine. It should be very similar to the glycogen response that you get from erythritol and stevia, which is almost non-existent. But I can't tell you out of the top of my head right now. Okay, forgive and love. Does intermittent fasting get easier with consistency? Yeah, I think so. If it becomes part of your routine, it's definitely much easier, because also your body gets used to you not eating until lunchtime, for example, or you stopping to eat at 4 p.m. in the evening. So it definitely gets easier. If you're used to eating something right when you get up every day, then that's what your body's used to. So you're gonna crave food, and if you change that, then yeah, shouldn't be the case anymore.
You're the man.
Thanks, Richie. You're the man as well. By the way, if you want to see more of Jofi, you just have to type it in, and maybe she will not be as shy. Okay. Okay, so Tik is asking, I can delay my first meal of the day till 2 p.m. However, once I break my fast, I find hard to stop eating. The desire to continue eating is strong. What do you think is going on? How do you master this? So what I would do maybe for you is you could actually try starting to eat a little bit earlier in the day, and maybe you could see if it matches your natural circadian rhythm a little bit more. So maybe try having your last meal earlier in the day. Yeah, let's say 4 p.m. or something, and try to um, push your eating window a little bit earlier. So you could have breakfast at 8, and then maybe stop eating a little bit earlier in the day. See if that works. But even when you're shortening your eating window, it's still possible that you overeat. So some people see intermittent fasting working really well for them for a certain period of time, and then they don't realize that they're actually eating more or the same that they were eating before trying intermittent fasting in a shorter period of time, because their body gets used to eating more in smaller number of meals. And I would experiment and see also what you're eating. Maybe make sure that you're not overeating carbs, that you're getting enough protein as well, because maybe you're having a hard time stopping to eat because you're not getting enough protein. So check out my last video on how much protein to eat and see if you're in that range. Because if you're eating too little, then maybe your body telling you need to eat a little bit more protein. Okay, best chocolate substitute. Why do you need a substitute for chocolate? But I understand. I mean, in the evening as well, it has some caffeine, right? Yeah. Some people have troubles falling asleep when they eat chocolate in the evening. Luckily, I'm not one of them, but I'm really sensitive to coffee in general. So, do you know a substitute for chocolate? You could try something with vanilla.
Or with cinnamon.
Cinnamon? Yeah, definitely. Or maybe you could make some homemade chocolate make some homemade white chocolate or something like that. Yeah. Appetite. Okay, Spy is asking, appetite goes away on keto, which makes fasting much easier. Yeah, that's true. Big size, eat more fat and protein, less carbs. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Dr. Knubele is asking, what is your advice for someone who does keto for body composition? Any tips to lower body fat? Well, if you're just starting out on keto, then as I mentioned, take it easy and make sure you get adapted to ketogenic diet and you're not going really low on calories right away. But after a couple of weeks, as I said, you can start experimenting with fasting. Also, sometimes it's easier to just have that decision in your mind, like either I'm eating or I'm not eating. So if you stop eating at 4 p.m., for example, you say, okay, I'm not eating, I brush my teeth, I'm done for today. That's really easy. I know some people who actually don't even do keto, and they had some problems in the past and they lost a lot of weight, and they just eat one day, they eat a normal diet, a standard diet, and then the next day they don't eat at all, and they do really well, and I've seen a lot of success with that. So I'm just saying, outside of the keto realm. But to lower body fat, I would make sure that you hit your protein macros. Check out my last video for that. And that you keep your carbs under 20 grams of net carbs per day. And make sure you're feeling good and energized, so that way you already know you're doing something right. And then you can experiment with fasting and also track how much you're actually eating. Because you might think, okay, you're in that range, but you don't really know until you track it for a little while. Okay. Richie, thanks to you both, you were the first couple who got me educated with keto. I've now lost 5 stone over 10 months now. Intermittent fasting helped. I've just got to get over this plateau. Thanks again. Oh, thank you, Richie. Really happy to hear that. That's really awesome. Always love reading these messages. Congratulations. That's awesome. Yes, forgive and love, that's true. So longer hikes during fasting windows or even outside of fasting windows, also after a meal, are a great idea, a great way to lose some fat and also to get into ketosis more quickly if you're out of ketosis. Actually, just going for a walk, you don't have to do intense sports or something like that. So you don't need to do sports to lose weight, but going on regular walks, so longer walks or hikes, is an awesome way to get into ketosis, staying in ketosis, and to burn body fat. Does lemon water break a fast? No, I wouldn't say it does. It's a very small amount of carbs, and as far as I know, also as far as I remember, oh, also Jimmy Moore and Jason Fung, Dr. Jason Fung, they also allow their patients. So Dr. Jason Fung in his clinic, he also allows his patients to drink some lemon water, so water with lemon, freshly squeezed lemon in it. But I'm sure if you squeeze 4 lemons in there, then might be a little bit too much. So half a lemon usually is enough, or up to 1 lemon. But it's a great thing also to drink in the morning. It's good for your health. The same goes for apple cider vinegar and some water. Okay, do you eat chocolate with sugar in it? Like 85% dark chocolate, is it still keto if it has sugar in it? So we try, we sometimes, yeah, you can get that. So we sometimes have a small piece of 90% dark chocolate from Lindt. 85%, it always depends which chocolate you're getting, because even if it has 85% dark chocolate, we found some to have still a lot of sugar in them. So if you can get the highest quality possible, maybe even sweetened with something else other than normal sugar. So we like this one. You can see that. That's the Lindt 90%. And this has actually 14 grams of net carbs per 100 grams. So we eat 1 piece. I think last time we counted it, 1 piece was like 1 gram of net carbs. So one little square, something like that, right?
Yeah, 1.4.
Yeah, 1.4 grams of net carbs, and that's fine. But if you're gonna eat half of it, it's way too much. So you should make sure that you don't go overboard. And that Lindt chocolate does have some normal sugar in it, but
we also have stevia chocolate.
We also have stevia chocolate sometimes, yeah. In Austria it's hard to find, but in Hungary they have some really nice dark chocolates with stevia and erythritol. I see. Patrick is asking, does beta-hydroxybutyrate help you get back into ketosis faster? Well, yes, it does, but it's a supplement that's not that cheap. You don't need it. You can get into ketosis by just sticking to your diet. I don't know. So there are some really good BHB salts out there. We've also tried some. Actually gonna do a little video about that as well. But you don't need to spend a lot of money. So diet, that's the great thing about this. Like if you want to lose weight, you can try fasting, which is for free, which is amazing. It's one of the best methods, and people always forget that actually like when you're eating, when your body accumulates fat, that's an energy reserve that's there for you to access when there's not that much food around. That's energy that still needs to be used up in a way. So give yourself the opportunity to use that, and you don't need to spend a lot of money. That's the beautiful thing about keto. You don't need all the supplements and stuff. It's quite simple actually when you get down to it. But beta-hydroxybutyrate does help you get back into ketosis faster, or to get into ketosis if like you really need it for medical reasons, or maybe if it's for performance or something like this. That could also be a possibility. I know some athletes are experimenting with that. I think even Jason Whittaker or somebody mentioned that he was experimenting with that as well. But since we're talking about that right now, actually the best pre-workout that I found for myself is just taking 1 teaspoon of sea salt or pink Himalayan sea salt, pink Himalayan salt,
Yes.
with a glass of water. That's really awesome. It gets you really well pumped as well in the gym and gives me a ton of energy. And I like to work out first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. And that's also one more thing that I changed now the last few weeks, that last 2.5 years, pretty much, we're just working out once a week, me and Jofi, because I wanted to see what's the least amount of working out I need to do and we need to do to feel good and to still keep in a good shape and to still keep my ideal physique. And now they opened a new gym close to us that we really love and really enjoy. Before we didn't enjoy working out that much there and the other gym. And so now we're going to the gym again like 2 or 3 times a week, and we're really loving it. It's really awesome. And I really enjoy going to the gym first thing in the morning at like 6 a.m. Get up at 6 a.m. Take some water, drink some water with some salt, and then go straight to the gym. That's really has been really awesome to have that out of the way already before you start working. And then when we get back home, or if we're at work, we just have breakfast or something. And we've also been getting used to, like, even if it's in the morning or something, we just have a meal that we might have for lunch or something, or for dinner. Otherwise, it doesn't have to be a special kind of breakfast meal or something. Yeah. But we usually have some food, like shortly after working out, half an hour or 1 hour later. Yeah. Oh wow, you do 23-1. Awesome. That's amazing. So you're probably just doing one meal, right? Okay. Yeah, salt water is great. Patrick is asking, how often should you exercise while in ketosis? You don't need to exercise at all if you don't enjoy it. That's also the thing. You need to, if you want to exercise is great, has a lot of benefits, but you don't need to exercise for weight loss. Like, there are many studies showing that exercise doesn't make you lose weight. It's way more important to keep your diet in check. But if you enjoy exercising, awesome, go for it. Try to find something that you really like and that you're gonna stick to. We really enjoy weightlifting in the gym. We also like to challenge each other, and so that's what we do. But we also like volleyball and some other sports. So maybe we're gonna join some course again. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. If you're trying to get into exercising, I would go for weightlifting, because building more muscles is definitely going to be beneficial long term when it comes to weight loss and to just increasing your body's energy requirements. So that's a beneficial thing to do. So in that case, I would start out with once a week, and if you want to really build muscle, then go up to 3 times a week. But I don't think you need more than that. Okay. So Susan is writing, enjoy your tips, still battling a bit with sugar cravings. So we do as well sometimes battle a bit with sugar cravings when the holidays come around and we're visiting our families, and we are just human as well. And whenever you reintroduce something, then you get the cravings back, but it gets better. Like, the time it takes us to get back into ketosis and to just stop the cravings is much, much faster. So usually, like, if we stick to our diet again within 24 hours or something, we're back, and we just don't buy that stuff at home. So that's the easiest way not have that in reach. And so we just suffer the consequences when we visit our family. Yeah. I was never overweight myself. I had more weight and I had a little belly before, but so not before starting keto, but when I started getting a little into exercise and diet when I was 16. But there I was very sedentary and I was just eating garbage, so I put on a tiny bit of weight, but I wouldn't say I was ever overweight though. And you also were never overweight, right? I mean, you lost a lot of weight on keto, but
Right. So when we started, I lost like 10 kilograms, but I also wasn't overweight, but I wasn't completely satisfied with how I looked with my figure, and now I feel much more confident, and I also feel more energized because before before I was actually taking a lot of naps in the afternoons and I was more tired, and I don't have that anymore. So yeah.
so, stay if you want.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Spive, I only get sugar cravings if I eat too many carbs in a day. Yeah, that's usually what happens. When you eat more carbs, then you get some cravings back. And yeah, it's like a vicious cycle. Then you want to eat more and more carbs. Multidimensional Universe is asking, did you have any pre-existing metabolic conditions before embarking on keto? For me, what I had is I had gastritis, so inflammation of the gut lining. And I had some inflammation problems in my shoulder, so I had regular shoulder pain, and in my leg as well. So about, I think, a year before or something, or a year and a half before actually starting keto, I had an operation in my knee. It wasn't anything major, but it was because of some inflammation, so I had some liquid accumulated there, and I had to remove that. But I still had pain after that. And so I used to have like one day where I felt good and another day where I had some pain in my leg, and I never really knew what to do. And so I was always experimenting. I was eating a healthy diet back then. I was eating a lot of like these frozen veggies where you have just a mix of peas and corn and baby carrots, which is basically just carbs and without any nutritional value, and a lot of tuna. And I was doing sort of low carbage, but then I was eating a ton of whole grain pasta and noodles, which I also thought were healthy back then. Ton of cheese. So I thought I was being healthy, but that wasn't really helping my gut either. And I also was taking some greens powders, and sometimes I thought, oh, maybe when I took the spirulina and some other stuff, it was a little bit better, but I never really knew like if I was gonna feel good or not. And only when I stopped, only when I started keto, actually, after a week, after a week or something, where I was actually also I brought the home cooked meals to work, and I completely left out gluten, which for me is a big factor, which causes me. So if I eat a big pizza or something like this, or if I eat any cookie, I try a cookie or anything, since I'm half Italian, there are gonna be moments where I'm meeting my family in Italy, or there's a special celebration, and
or sometimes you don't even know that there's gluten in something. Only
and
afterwards.
I have to eat some,
yeah.
and I have to eat some gluten, and
out.
then the way that I feel, so sometimes then I have leg pain the next day after getting up. That's the way I feel it usually. That's the way I know. Or I might have a headache 2 days later, and I always know exactly why. That's the good thing, that when you keep those things out, when you reintroduce them, you notice, because you're usually feeling great, and when you're not feeling great, then you know, what did I eat the last few days, and that's how I found out that that's causing most of the problems that I had. But since keto, it's been amazing. I'm really thankful not to feel any pain, and I only feel it when I do have some gluten or something. Then I feel it slightly, but it goes away right away. It just keeps me motivated not to eat garbage, which is awesome. And we love the stuff we eat, the food we eat, and I wouldn't change anything. Otherwise, if we wouldn't enjoy it, we would have stopped
a long
time ago.
Yeah.
And now it's been 2.5 years or something. And we really love the food we eat, and yeah, always look forward to our meals. That's awesome. Okay. So Bogdan is asking, did you ever give up keto and restart it? How did it feel? So we never gave up keto since we started. We never felt the need to give it up. But there were occasions where we when we were visiting our relatives, or when we
Traveling.
traveled, and we wanted to try some more fruits, maybe some more local foods. We always tried to keep a keto basis. Also, when we travel, we usually stick on keto the whole year long. But when we're traveling, I think when we were in Portugal, then there were some small things we wanted to try, some local
Yeah.
specialties. For example, pastel de natas, which are these little pastries that are filled with some vanilla cream. And we found one shop,
that was at least
one bakery
gluten-free.
that made them gluten-free, and they were really good. We wanted to try them. So we at least found one way that they would be a little bit better, at least to the way we feel, because Jovi also doesn't feel good on gluten at all.
Yeah, but for example, like gluten-free doesn't mean it's keto. It's usually some corn flour and some rice flour and other ingredients that are also not that great. And that's exactly why I did my 2-day fasting right after Lisbon, because I didn't feel great. I had some stomach aches and I just wanted to restart my body. And after that, I felt much better. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we always suffer the consequences after. So if
Yeah,
you're really tired or something, and we're always looking forward to getting back to our diet and to feel good. So we're, as you can see, we're also human. Like, we also do mistakes, and sometimes you go on a trip and then you forget. You just say, okay, I'm gonna try this because we're here and we're in another country. Let's try it. And then afterwards, oh, that's why. And you remember pretty quickly why you love doing keto so much and why we eat the way we eat. Yeah, gluten is bad for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Patrick is asking, how important is gallbladder health while in ketosis? Gallbladder health is quite important, as it helps you digest fat, and you need it to for your digestion. But I think there's some things you can do. I think there's some. I think I even had that when I was doing out some. There are some capsules you can take to help you create more digestive. First of all, have more digestive enzymes, and to have more acid in your stomach for digestion. But you have to look into that. I can't give you a great answer right now. You both look great. Thanks. Thank you very much, Zoe. Okay, Spike. Bogdan, I tried to have a week of keto Xmas and turned to 17 months. I got ill all year. Back on keto last 6 months, and now I feel great. That's great. I'm happy to hear that, Spike. 21. Dr. Knubele, how do you feel when you're kicked out of ketosis? Can you guys describe it for us? When you out of ketosis, you usually feel more tired, more snacky.
Yeah, low energy.
Low energy. Can I describe it? So you feel less focused usually. At least I do feel less focused. I think many people do. Probably have more cravings. Yeah, I usually have more cravings, and you're more tired. So
sometimes a little bit more moody.
At least, yeah. I think many people have more emotional swings as well, and I can't think as clearly when I'm not in ketosis. And it's also natural to sometimes get kicked out of ketosis if you have a bigger meal or something. So it's not at the end of the world, and you don't have to always be in ketosis unless it's for health reasons. But you wanna, especially if you're doing it for weight loss, etc., you wanna make sure that you don't overdo it, and that you make sure the next meal after your trip, after your let's call it mistake, is keto friendly again, and that you slowly get into it again. But don't be too hard on yourself. Okay, let's see.
I feel like we have to make some Hungarian recipes.
Okay. Yeah, good, but sorry. I really love your recipe videos, especially the pizza turns out great. You talk sometimes about your Hungarian favorite foods. Considering a Hungarian keto recipe video, please. What do you think?
Yeah, we can make the székely káposzta.
Yeah, we can share the székely káposzta. That's the one where...
It's definitely low carb and
yeah, that's awesome. We love doing that. We're going to make that again in a few days anyway, so we can just record that. and that's sauerkraut with usually either like organic pork shoulder in small cubes or organic grass-fed or some grass-fed beef in cubes, and mixed with some paprika powder
and Hungarian sausage.
And we upgraded it by adding a little bit of Hungarian sausage.
But before we
really
used
awesome.
to use bacon instead of sausage, and that was also great. So in case you can't get any Hungarian sausage or other kind of sausages, bacon is good as well.
And we do that in the instant pot.
Yeah.
So we pressure cook that for like 45 minutes, and it's so good. It's quite simple to make and really, really good. And then sometimes we add some sour cream on top.
Yeah, but
other times just butter.
Yeah, I think I'm reacting to lactose, and that's why we're trying to reduce our, like, we're only, even with cheese, we don't eat cheese from the cow, normally just from goat or sheep, because it's somehow better for my skin. That's our experience, though.
Yeah. I also don't react that well to milk products, so I also notice when I eat more cheese, so if I go to Italy or for a trip and we have a little more cheese, that I also start getting some pimples or something like that. I also just I feel better when skin problems, and I also tend to feel better when I don't have cheese too often. Sometimes on our pizza Mondays or something, we actually found goat cheese and sheep cheese to be better for us, for the two of us. So when we have our pizza Mondays, which we actually skipped this week, which is crazy. So we're gonna have a pizza Thursday, tomorrow, and we add goat cheese and a little bit of feta cheese as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's really good. That's been really good. Okay, so Joy Kit Kat bars are no go on keto, sadly. Susan is asking, do you suggest taking probiotics? Will it help to stop weight loss plateauing? I would say you can take probiotics if you want to. They might be good for your gut, but I don't think it's gonna be too much of an impact on your weight loss. It might, but you have to do some more research on that. I can't give you a definitive answer. That's not usually what I do or recommend people to take probiotics for that reason. If you have digestive problems, they might help you. Hey Eva, hi. Nice to see someone from Stuttgart here as well, some Germans. Bogdan writes, I gave it up during the holidays and felt really, really bad, plus I gained some weight back, restarted 1st of January, and I plan to stick to it with no break. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Great. Go for it. If we can support you any way, then let us know. If you have any questions, especially. And just remember why you're doing it. Remember the reason why you're doing keto. And try to find the foods that you really enjoy eating, the keto-friendly foods. And then you have some recipes that you can make quickly, easily. It has to be sustainable as well. So make sure you don't choose a ton of recipes that are really complicated. They're not going to repeat. You need something that you're going to be able to quickly make. So just some veggies, some meat, fish, eggs, whatever, something like that, where you don't need a ton of preparation. And that could be a staple, for example, and then you just add some salt, pepper, oregano, and then add some butter, olive oil, or whatever, coconut oil. Keep it as simple as possible, and then you can always experiment with more complex recipes. But especially if you're not used to cooking much before, you want to start with something that's really easy that you can stick to. And in our opinion, it's still really delicious that way. So we don't do a lot of complex or complicated recipes. Sometimes we discover something we want to try, but we have our favorite foods, favorite meals that we tend to rotate, and we never feel like we're missing out. Actually, sometimes we feel like, oh, we should try something different again. At least that's what I do sometimes. Then I buy some different meat or something else. And after that, I was like, okay, actually, but it was good, but we still actually like the pork shoulder more, or we like ground beef more or something like that. So then we just go back and forget about those experiments for a while. Okay. Eva is asking, do you consider making a video about keto low carb products that you buy in Austria? Yeah, we could do that. We could do some more local video for people in Austria or maybe Germany, since we have a lot of supermarkets that you have in Germany as well, like Lidl, Hofer, which is Aldi in Germany, Penny, and yeah.
DM even.
Oh, DM as well. True. Peg is asking, do you do? I'm guessing you were asking, do you do intermittent fasting? Do you add intermittent fasting? I don't know exactly what you mean.
I'm guessing if we do intermittent fasting.
You do more intermittent fasting than me right now?
Yeah, because we have different goals. So Angel's trying to put on some more weight, some more muscles.
Yeah, that's a new goal of mine.
And my goal is always to lose/maintain my weight. So I do a lot of intermittent fasting, and also because I recognized when I have breakfast, I tend to be more snacky during the day, and I just enjoy not having any breakfast and just starting my day productively and just not thinking about food until lunchtime. So yeah, I really enjoy longer fasts.
Yeah.
And you're trying to eat.
I'm actually a bit jealous when you did your 2-day fast. Thing with me is I'm at a very low body fat percentage. I'm at like 9% or maybe 9%, something like that. And I don't want to do too much intermittent fasting because my goal right now is to build a bit more muscle. And that's also why I was motivated to go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week again. Because once a week is really awesome for maintaining my muscles, that I built over the last few years. But I wanted to see how far I can push myself, and I wanted to improve in all areas of life. So that's part of it as well. And really enjoy working out today. Okay. Alex is asking, do you watch some other YouTube keto channels? Maybe Dr. Berg, Dr. Hyman, or more entertaining Keto Connect?
Yeah.
How big is the keto community in Austria? So we know Dr. Berg, his YouTube channel. He has really awesome videos. Dr. Hyman as well. We also read some of his books a while ago. And also his last one, I think I had the audiobook of that. And
Keto Connect.
Yeah, we know Keto Connect as well. We actually also listen to their podcast sometimes.
It's cool. It's really good.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. It's really awesome that they're spreading the keto message as well. That's nice. The keto community in Austria. So, to be honest, we didn't reach out to that many people in Austria as far as keto is concerned. I like a really tiny little group, but I didn't really try to grow that. There's a paleo group in Vienna. I think there are more and more people that are there are more and more people that are interested in keto. But the interesting thing is that in Austria we have more of a vegan movement actually, also compared to Hungary. In Hungary you have more people starting with paleo and probably also getting into keto, things like this, but mostly paleo. And in Austria, since everybody thinks meat is the one that's to blame for all the problems, which is ridiculous, they went the vegan route. So we have a ton of health stores just selling all kinds of supplements and overpriced
vegan products,
vegan substitutes of meat and stuff like this, which have a ton of ingredients which are not natural at all anymore, sadly. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure that's gonna change as well. So nothing. Okay. And some other YouTube keto channels that we know is Primal Edge Health. When we started out, especially, it was also nice to see their family, and just to see how happy they were and positive they were. And it also kind of motivated me and motivated us to also share the message, because we felt similar way, and it was inspiring as well for us. So. Thank you too. Okay. Forgive and Love 09. Do you think too much caffeine can interfere with intermittent fasting?
I don't think so. We tend to drink quite a lot of coffee, and it never interfered with intermittent fasting. However, we're trying to reduce our coffee intake
Yeah,
at the
so
moment.
we don't drink that much normal coffee. So we
Well,
usually
during my
drink
internship,
one
it was
to
like 3.
sometimes 2 coffees per day, and we
Sometimes
try
3
to when I was working sometimes 3.
when I was working.
But usually we try to have not more than 2 and to stop drink. I try personally to stop drinking coffee at 2 p.m. the latest because it interferes with my sleep if I drink it any later. And then we like to have some decaf sometimes in the afternoon or evening sometimes. Yeah. Too much caffeine. I'm sure if you have too much coffee, that's probably also gonna might cause some imbalance of, I don't know, hormones or something like this. So I'm sure if you overdo caffeine as well, and you get jittery, and it can have negative effects as well. So it probably can interfere not with the fasting process itself, but might make you more hungry. It might have some other effects on you. Might make you crash or something after that. So it's definitely not optimal. We didn't do a ketone test or something with how much caffeine you take in and then seeing the results on that, but I don't think you need to worry on that, except if you're really overdoing it on coffee. But you can have a cup of coffee or 2 or something, for sure. So Spive, I'm lactose intolerant, but I can handle small amounts of cheese. My health has improved all around since on keto and wait, OMAD. Can you define OMAD? Because I remember that, but I think I forgot that.
Sorry.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm gonna say, sure, you're welcome, Peg.
1 meal a day.
Oh, okay, 1 meal a day. Sorry, I didn't know that abbreviation yet. Awesome, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like, I would love to just be able to fit everything into 1 meal a day and be done with it. So have the least amount of time you spend with cooking and eating, and just have it all over with in a way, and not worry about food anymore. But for me, it's really hard. Like my stomach, I can't eat that much food all at once, especially now that I'm trying to eat more. Because normally on keto, when I was tracking what I was eating over a day, sometimes I noticed, okay, I'm not eating that many calories because I wasn't that hungry. And for me now, my goal is to gain a little weight, to build some muscle, and so I need to make sure that I get over a certain amount of calories, and that's why I also started actually eating some breakfast more often now, just to have that as well, because otherwise it's harder for me in 2 meals to get that. I've just never been able to eat huge amounts of food in a single meal or 2 meals. Susan, first time I've ever joined a live chat. Just want to thank you for your very helpful advice and videos. Thumbs up from South Africa. Awesome, Susan. That's really awesome to hear. This is our first live chat, so live stream. So quite nervous before starting it, because we've never done this before, and we were just hoping it goes well. Spy asks, do you watch Scott the truck driver? He is great and knows his stuff. No, I don't know him directly, but it's awesome if he's sharing the keto message and is sharing positivity. That's great. I'm gonna check him out after that, so I know who it is, who you're talking about. Forgive and love. Thank you for all the help and support with keto. We appreciate your simple, humble approach. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you very much. And really, thanks to all of you for your support over the last 1.5 years since we started the channel. It's been amazing, really. I'm so overwhelmed with all the positive feedback and all this loving community. Everybody's trying to help each other. It's really amazing. Like, there's so few comments I've had to delete, or so few. Like, everybody's just trying to help each other out. It's really incredible. and I really didn't expect that before we started, because I thought, okay, this is internet, this is YouTube, we're gonna have a lot of trolls and gonna have a lot of vegans coming in and talking shit, but none of that happened, which is really awesome. And I felt really guilty about last year since I didn't do as much, and so hopefully this year I can make it up to you, and maybe Jofi will join more often as well. She would also like to get more involved, and that would be awesome. I think for you as well, it's good to have a female perspective, and I think she does an awesome job. And it's so much fun for me as well to work together with her, so it's great. But yeah, we should do live chats every week. Actually, we were thinking about that. Maybe every Wednesday then. Might be fun. We really enjoy this as well. And maybe then, yeah, if you get used to that as well, and around that time you can be online and ask us some questions. Maybe there's something that comes up during the week, and then you can ask us on a live stream, and chances are other people have the same questions or are struggling with the same problem. So yeah, for sure. All right, I think we're gonna do 2 more minutes or something, and then let's see if I missed something. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, okay. Good question. I was waiting for this. We also love you, Eat Nugget, by the way. So sending a heart to you. Tick size. Do you practice minimalism in other areas of your life which helps the keto lifestyle? So yeah, so we don't practice minimalism just in keto, because with keto, like the way we practice minimalism with keto, I think is with just the way we approach the food that we buy and eat as well. That we don't have try to. It's nice to have variety, but we have the things that we really enjoy, and we don't need a ton of stuff at home. Also, the fridge can only fit so much. We don't want to be in a position where you have to throw away food because you overstuffed the fridge or something. And oftentimes you buy some other stuff just to have some alternative, but you don't really like it as much as the original. And we like to keep it simple as well with our recipes and the way we cook our foods. And yeah, apart from that, like we practice minimalism with the things we buy, the clothes we don't buy.
And the clothes we donate and give away.
And
also in the kitchen, we try to keep it very minimalistic. Like we have great kitchen equipment.
Yeah, we have great kitchen equipment, but
not too many. Like exactly the ones that we use, and usually they have multi-function so that we can use it for different recipes as well.
And for us, like the kitchen equipment is important because we really love cooking and eating. So that's something that adds a lot of value to our life. And so some people, when we did the video on our kitchen equipment, they wrote, "Oh, but that's not very minimalistic. You have many different things." And like, but yeah, well, we love cooking. We make the veggies almost every day in the Instant Pot. Yeah. It's really simple, easy. We use it for a ton of other stuff. And for us, it's something that adds a lot of value, to have the right tools, the right knives, the right cutting boards, and like being able to weigh our food. And this is stuff that we need every day and that we really enjoy. And we try to also learn, like, if we don't use something, then we sell it or we give it to somebody else, give it away. Try to just keep the stuff that we actually need. And every once in a while, you have to review the things that you have, or the clothes that you have, especially. Like we got rid of a couple more clothes recently, which always feels way better than buying new stuff, which is awesome. And yeah, like stuff still piles up. If you have an average life, stuff still keeps piling up, especially papers and stuff. It's good to take some time and to see, okay, what happened. Like, this was so organized, I didn't have all this stuff, and then you got some small presents here and there and something, and you didn't like find somebody else to give them to, or thankfully decline, which is not very easy to do. And so that keeps piling up, and then every once in a while you have to do some decluttering again and get back to having a more organized space and being more minimalistic. And for me, it's harder than for Jofi because I'm not as organized as she's. She's much better at that, and organizing the whole apartment. It's awesome. It would not look like this if it wasn't for her. So I'm really thankful that we live together. It's awesome. Okay. And also we practice minimalism in the way we spend our money as well. So we're really lucky that and it's a really good thing to know how much you're spending per month as well, because then you can also know, okay, this is how much I'm earning. This is also how much I need to earn to like fund my lifestyle. And once you track that and optimize that, also say, okay, do we need this monthly expense here and there? And you optimize that, then you realize, okay, I don't actually need that much money to feel free and to have the lifestyle that I want. And that's also really awesome this year. That's also why I'm gonna have more time to focus on the channel and on other things that I'm interested in, because I don't need to work as much anymore in IT and some other stuff. It's just not as fun for me. Yeah. Okay. You're cute together, stay together forever. Yes, that's the plan. So that'd be awesome. Thank you, Dr. Kimbele. Okay, multidimensional. The last two questions, and then we're gonna stop the stream. It would be great to see general video on other areas where you practice minimalism in your life, kitchen stuff, clothing, and so on. Help us all simplify. All right, I think that would be cool. Yeah, we'd love to do that. Hopefully, other people are interested in that as well. But it could be something nice to try. Alex is asking, so do you drink mineral water? Maybe San Pellegrino or Gerolsteiner. We sometimes, so I know San Pellegrino is a great water. We had that
yeah,
a few times.
When I did my fast.
We sometimes have some mineral water, yeah, just to mix it up. We sometimes add a little bit of freshly squeezed lemon, or just have a little mineral water. We try to buy mineral water in glass bottles, because not to add too much waste and to not to. Also because some of the plastic might get into the mineral water as well. But yeah, every once in a while. Also, during your fast, you enjoyed having something to mix it up with.
Especially at work, it was really nice because there, like, it was so easy to take some coffee breaks with colleagues, and having some mineral water with me helped me to kind of stay away from all the extra coffee.
Yeah. Because it's funny, but like for me, drinking mineral water and some freshly squeezed lemon is really exciting. I really enjoy
exactly.
It. That's also something I really enjoy drinking if we're going out somewhere at a party or something. For me, that's great. I don't drink it as quickly because it's sparkling.
Yeah.
So for me, that's great. It's like drinking a great alternative to drinking alcohol, because I'm not gonna drink it right away, and I can just stand there and sip it throughout the evening, which is awesome. Okay, next one. Eva, how do you get rid of the things at the beginning? Oh, wait, I think this, okay. How do you get rid of the things at the beginning? I would also love to see a video about minimalism. Okay, check it.
It's working.
Okay.
Oops, no, it's actually working.
Okay, I hope you can still see us. Okay, we're almost finished, but we're gonna just answer this. So at the beginning, how did we start out? What was the best? So we did one video about minimalism. Maybe we mentioned some things there, how we started out. But so we got interested in minimalism through the Minimalists.
Yeah.
I think the first...
We watched the documentary on Netflix.
But actually first we discovered them through an interview from, I think, Louis House with which one of the minimalists was... Joshua. No?
Wait.
Okay, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
Either way,
one of the
minimalists, and that he was telling his story, and we got we're like, yeah, that's actually true. We could really.
And he seemed really happy and content with his life, so that's something that really inspired us to find out what he was doing exactly.
Yeah, and the cool thing is also.
Yeah. Aye.
Let's see his stream. And the cool thing is it also happened right before Christmas times. It was like November in 2016. It's 2018. Crazy.
Okay, it's not working.
And so that got us really motivated. And in the beginning, we just started going through all our clothes and all the things, and it felt so good to just get rid of the stuff we didn't need. And all of a sudden, even though we live in a small apartment, and for right now we don't need a bigger apartment until we have a bigger family or whatever, we had so much space and everything is organized. You know where to find your stuff. It felt really freeing, and it helped me as a person that's naturally unorganized to know where my things are, and just I felt way clearer in my mind as well, and I was able to be a little bit more productive as well. So yeah, but definitely check out the Minimalist. I'm sure they have much better advice than we do, and I think they spread a great message as well. And also check out the documentary on Netflix. It's pretty cool. All right, I think that's it for today, and yeah, I think we might do this again next week on Wednesday. Yeah. So if you like it, then leave us a like or a comment or something, and hopefully
prepare some questions.
Prepare some questions, exactly. Not too hard ones. uh, and yeah, let us know. And if you want to see more live streams. Thank you so much for joining us and for your time. I know it's really valuable and we'll never take it for granted. So hopefully you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon next week maybe. Yeah. Awesome. Bye.
Bye.